Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So this one is completely 100% inspired by Penelope Featherington. We're doing like a Penelope Bridgerton look, but we're also doing it like every day. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Stacy. I feature unfiltered makeup opinions, honest reviews, and tutorials. And if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button before we get into this video and the like, and also leave me a comment in the description box down below. So if you guys aren't familiar with Bridgerton, it is a Netflix show. They just released season 3 at the beginning of the summer. And in this show, it follows the Bridgerton family and pretty much like the people in their circle as well. And it's set in early 1800s, so right at the turn of the 1800s when Queen Charlotte is the regent of England and women are coming out for their season for marriage. They're coming out on the marriage mart. And season 3 was just released, like I said, at the beginning of the summer of 2023, where one of the main characters gets a huge glow up. And today we're going to do a makeup tutorial, but like kind of 2024 modern for this makeup look. I'm actually super excited about it. And if you guys notice, I actually have a tan. So I have actually been out in the sun a lot this summer. So yeah, that's been happening. In Bridgerton season 3, we see like this massive glow up with Penelope Featherington. I truly feel like in seasons 1 and 2, there was a lot to play with, like her wardrobe. They had very bright, colorful, poppy, like very unconventional colors on her for this time period. But it also is what kind of like set her apart, because it set her apart as kind of like the ugly duckling, more or less. And then in Bridgerton season 3, Penelope goes through this like beautiful glow up, and they changed the way that her makeup looked from seasons 1 and 2 to season 3, and it was a beautiful natural makeup look, but it was also like this glow up. It's really such a beautiful enhancing glow up that they gave her. I truly feel like in seasons 1 and 2, they did as much minimal makeup as they could. They didn't really accentuate her eyes. They didn't really give her any color in her cheeks or anything like that. Like she was just kind of dull. And then she was wearing these very colorful costumes. But then in season 3, they give her a glow up with her makeup. They give her a glow up with her wardrobe. She's wearing a lot of like greens and teals that bring out her red hair. And they're also giving her like this beautiful flushed natural makeup look. They even give her like this really beautiful, like dimensional smoky eye almost in some of her ball scenes as well. And they did such an amazing job just doing a glow up in general. But we're going to do like a 2024. We're going to try duplicating and kind of giving a twist to this makeup look, the glow up of Penelope Featherington. I'm going to do my own rendition of the glow up from Penelope Featherington. So I'm actually going to use the Luminous Putty Primer from e.l.f. This is their rendition of the Putty Primer. So it's like a pore filling primer, but it's also luminous. And I'm just going to use this to fill in some of the spots on my face that are, you know, they need a little bit of extra priming. Other than that, though, my skin is like clean. It doesn't have anything on it. And I absolutely love this product because it really just helps like fill in my pores and wrinkles and fine lines. So that's one thing that we want to really focus and enhance today, is making my skin look super youthful and super dewy glowy. And this actually, because it's the Luminous Putty Primer, it has like luminizers in it that make my skin look a little bit more luminous. So we're filling in and applying this to places where I have some fine lines. And then we're also going to apply it on places where I tend to get a little bit of like over texturization as well. And we're just going to apply this all over with my finger because the pot is so tiny that like I can't apply it any other way. So I'm going in with the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. This is actually the perfect, like when I first bought this, it was not the shade for me. But the shade I have is 40 CP, and this is a cool, fair, like this is a cool undertone, but it's like I'm tan. So in Penelope's makeup look, she actually is a little bit more, she's not as tan as me. She's actually a little bit super pasty pale, but I want my foundation to match my skin. So that's why we're using this one today. Another really great foundation that I could recommend would be the new Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Filter. Really, really good foundation, but it's actually just a little bit too light for me today. So I would wear that, but it's a little bit too light today because like I got a tan somehow. I don't know how. The Urban Decay Stay Naked is it's kind of like a silk foundation. It feels very luminous on the skin. It has a little bit of dew to it, but it also has almost like a matte dry down. So we are going to have to add in some added features that Penelope's makeup look has, which is like, she's very luminous and dewy, especially on the cheeks of her face. And her makeup look is very like luminous and dewy. So that looks really, really pretty. My skin is just like a little bit satin, a little bit silk. We're going to conceal with the Tower 28 Serum Concealer. And this is just a really lightweight serum-y concealer. And we're just going to highlight some of the areas where I either have like a blemish or I have just some, like I need to be brightened a little bit. Now, I do notice that Penelope has a little bit of bronze on her face, so, I mean, that's a good thing, but most of her makeup look is really centered around blush and, like, highlights, so it's very, like, blush highlight focused, and it's not really, like, contouring of the face, it's very much blush focused. For the bronzer, we're just going to use a little bit of the Butter Glow Contour Wand from Physicians Formula. This is a very, like, creamy formula, but it allows me to just do a little bit of a dot on my face, like in certain areas, and then blend it out very nicely. Like, it's not a huge bronzy look, so that's why we're not going to do a lot of bronze. And it's just something to warm up the face just a little bit. And this Glow Butter Wand also has some really nice, like, qualities to it where it looks kind of glowy and like satin on the skin. So you'll see like a difference where it's just a little bit of like bronziness, but it's not like too much bronziness. Like her makeup really isn't like too over the top when it comes to the bronzing product. It is the blush product that is like kind of really over the top. She has like this corally blush look in a lot of the daytime scenes, and in the nighttime scenes, she actually has more of this mauvey look to it. So we're gonna just focus on like the peachy blush. I have peachy blush. I have tons of peachy blush that I need to find. So we're going to take the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Blush Wand in Peach Pop. Now, obviously, like Penelope has really, really, really like dewy, glowy cheeks, and they look almost like luminescent, and it actually kind of reminds me of like a blush lighter. So we're going to do the base. We're going to do the base layer first with just a matte blush, and then we will actually go in and accentuate with some really nice like blush lighters. But I noticed that like her cheeks are so flushed in a lot of her daytime scenes, and they are really, really dewy and bright and really pretty. So I focused a lot of the product like kind of near the ball of the cheek, but mostly here, and then diffuse it out toward the front and the back. So it kind of gives you like this really beautiful flushed look, which is what Penelope has. And then I just diffuse it out very, very lightly. And it really, I mean, it's still, I mean, it's a matte blush, but it's actually really like dewy on the skin because of it being a liquid. So it's not like 100% matte, but it's super pretty. And then we're just shearing it out on the cheek. Okay, so on top of that, we're going to actually put on the Milani Luminoso. This is the Cheek Kiss blush, and it's not really a blush and it's not really a highlight. It's kind of like a blush lighter, but this is a liquid version. I'm focusing this primarily on the balls of the cheeks, and we're going to get quite a bit of pigment on here. We're going to make this pretty glowy and dewy because literally I feel like that's what Penelope's makeup is that it's like this dewy, glowy makeup look. We're also going to take any excess, we're going to put it on the nose as well. She has like some of the glowiest, dewiest skin on the show in season 3. It's ridiculous how much glow and dew she has, but in a good way. Like she has a really beautiful glow. I'm also going to take some of this. It's the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Lit. And this is like in the pinkish shade. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my sponge and like dab this on as well. This is, you can use as like a liquid highlight. You can use it underneath your foundation. You can use it over, like you can use it for many, many purposes. Sometimes I prime my face with this, but I was thinking today it's going to have that like lit from within glow that we see Penelope like really, really showcasing on season 3. And I'm also going to focus it a little bit down here too, because she's just like glowy and dewy all over. Like she's matte in like the perfect places, like under her eyes, she's a little bit matte. But then on the highlights of the cheeks and on her forehead, she's a little bit dewy and glowy. And she looks so like juicy and like youthful. So I am going to take just a little bit of a brightening powder. I'm going to take a little bit of a brightening powder. I have the LA Girl. This is the Pink Pro setting powder. And we're going to use a Cinch Beauty F04. And we're just going to very, very lightly set the under eyes. I did notice that like Penelope has a little bit of like a whole pink look going on with her. So I'm thinking that they use a lot of like pink powders to like set her face because her face is just so like rosy and dewy, but also youthful. And this Pro powder is like perfect for that. It's like super pretty. And I still have that like natural glow look to my, like it's really, really pretty. Okay, so I do have this blush. It is the Georgia blush from Benefit. And I'm just going to tap a little bit of this also on the balls. It's almost like a blush lighter. It's super pretty. And it's like very, very peachy looking, which is what Penelope has as well. It's so pretty. Honestly, I don't think we're going to do anything with like more bronzer. I don't think we need it. And then just to add a little bit more dew and glow, I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and tap into the Pure Nude highlighter from Essence. For the eyes, we're going to use the True Icon palette from Makeup Revolution. This looks like the Patrick Ta Major Dimension 2 palette, but we're going to use this one to create just a very simple, subtle eyeshadow look. I noticed that Penelope has like very like pink peachy eyes and they're very, very like natural. So we're going to go in first with this shade right here. We're using an E38 from Sigma, and we're just going to very, very lightly. I noticed they have a little bit of like an eye contour, and it is a peachy, very, very fair toned shade. And it's pinky peachy that she has going on with her eyes. And honestly, it's an all matte look. I haven't really seen like any kind of sparkle or shimmer on her eyes. The rest of her face is really what is like dewy and glowy. Very, very subtle, very natural. And they really do like, even though they added like a really light shade as her crease shade, it still makes her eyes pop. This shade that gives her eyes a little bit of contour and it gives them a little bit of definition. Now, you will notice that in the ballroom scenes though, she has almost like a deeper, darker brown outer corner and she has a very, very like smoky eye look. But honestly, like this is what they've been doing. I might actually I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer because I'm a shimmer type of person and I'm just going to do it like on the inner corner. But everything about her makeup look in this season is very much like enhancing her natural beauty and really just getting it to make everything pop. Like that's what they did with her makeup in this season is they made everything just like pop. I'm actually thinking I have an idea. I'm actually going to take a little bit of that shade that I popped on the inner corner. I'm going to tap it with the beauty blender and I'm just going to add this to the high points of my face because it almost looks like wet metal. Like that looks like Penelope's makeup look. It's so pretty. Then to add a little bit more dew, because I swear that's all she has is like dew, like so dewy. We're going to use the iconic London Prep Set Glow Mist. This is actually like a glittery, like guys, look at this. It's like a glittery mist. This is actually a really beautiful setting spray. And if you're looking for something that like adds like that dew and that juiciness and like that youthfulness to it, that is a good spray to use. For brows, we're just going to tame them. I use a clear brow gel. We're going to fill these bad boys in. If you notice, Penelope does have some very like natural looking brows. So I feel like what they did is they made them a little bit darker in the show and they made them a little bit more prominent as opposed to like seasons 1 and 2. I already have like super dark eyebrows. I don't have light eyebrows, so they don't really need that whole like filling in effect. They're pretty full. For her lips, she literally has like the most mauve-y looking, I don't even think this is going to be the right color, but they're like blurred, like very blurred lips, and they're almost like a peachy mauve shade. So I'm going to go in with this Sydney Grace first off. It's in the shade Maya. It's a little bit too dark, but we're just going to do like a dot and then sheer it out and make it kind of like blurred. So we're going to put a dot here and a dot here, right in the middle of my lips, like that. And then just kind of blur it, like blurred lips. Honestly, like the color is a little bit off. Her lips are a little bit more peach toned, but the effect of it being blurry, that's about spot on. And then actually probably just to lighten them up a little bit, I'm going to use just a little bit of this highlight and just kind of like press it like that. Like they're a little bit too pink, but the concept is there. I don't actually have like peach lipsticks, but I definitely feel like the concept is there. Very, very natural. Now for her lashes, they really did give her lashes this year. If you notice, like even when she's getting married, yes, she has wedding makeup on, but her lashes, she has lashes this year. Whereas like in the years past, she didn't have lashes and they really made her lashes like pop this year. I'm going to be using the Firework mascara from Maybelline. We are going to apply this and it does give me lengthened lashes. I feel like in some of the scenes where she's not like at a ball or anything like that, where she's at like a daytime event, she has some really natural, pretty lashes. They may have like a couple of like extra lashes in there that they threw in. But overall, in season 3, they actually put like a mascara on her that really lengthened her lashes, and they gave her a little bit of a false lash as well. So it wasn't quite still like luminescent enough, so I'm just gonna do a little dab of the Juvia's Place liquid highlighter. We're gonna sheer it out on the cheek, because she just has like very luminescent. So here's the completed makeup look that's inspired by Penelope Featherington from season 3 of Bridgerton. If you guys want to see the day to night transformation with this makeup look, definitely leave me a comment down below. I want to know if you want to see it because it's a pretty easy one, but they did do a difference between her day and night look, so I can do a tutorial of that as well. If you guys like this video and you haven't already, please consider subscribing before you go, and I hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye!